tell me true. It's all a lie and I can't escape from you. So tell me true. Next to you, next to you.
Welcome guys to the Meet Damien channel. I am Damien, and today we'll be talking about Bitcoin and what the next move might be for Bitcoin. Okay, currently trading at $93,791 here. Just want to say hi to some of my YouTube subscribers here. Good to see that Trade Tuition's in the chat here. And also hello to my TikTok streamers, doing a couple of live streams here between TikTok and YouTube. Let's go ahead and look at the charts now. Okay, yeah, so Bitcoin trading at $93,788. Pretty nice solid green candle that we had here on Bitcoin. Okay, where we got up to this week we're up like 10%. Okay, we're up 10% on Bitcoin. And boy, oh boy, we haven't felt like this in a while here, because we haven't had a 10% weekly candle on Bitcoin since, do you guys remember what it felt like back in November of 2024 when Bitcoin was going up about like 17% when Donald Trump got elected, and then the week after that another 11% for the weekly candle, and then the week after that, the third week of November, we were up like 9%. And then we were threatening to go up to like $100,000. Yeah, it kind of feels a little bit like that with Bitcoin this week. Okay, so we have Bitcoin looking pretty solid on the weekly chart here. Getting a little bit of resistance from this 21 EMA. This white line here is currently sitting at 92,598. We're actually above that line, so looking pretty solid right now. Okay. I want the higher we close this weekly candle, if we can get back to where we were earlier, I believe on Friday when we were at like $95,900. If we can get back to those levels, that would be a very strong signal to all the bullish investors out there that we are we're coming back with a vengeance on the Bitcoin price here. All right. But yeah, just looking at the, we'll stick to the weekly chart for now, and then we're gonna go into the daily chart here for Bitcoin. You can see that the MACD is showing less selling pressure. Okay, and the buyers are actually stepping up. And if we continue on with this trend line here, okay, you're gonna start seeing some green candles show up on the MACD here for Bitcoin, and that could be happening in May. Okay, we could be in store for a really great, phenomenal month of May for Bitcoin, where we might actually be threatening the all-time highs of like $109,000 back in January. What, a few months ago? Okay. We'll get into it. We'll get into it. Let's dive a little bit deeper into the daily chart here to get some more realistic price targets here on Bitcoin. Okay, I'm using the moving averages here. I got the white 21 EMA. The green line is the 50 moving average. The blue is the 100 moving average, and the red line is the 200 moving average. And it's the most important one that I see right now is the 200 moving average. Has to be that's where Bitcoin has to be closing above and staying above in order for me to consider it a bull market. We got to be above the 200-day moving average, which we did. We did that officially on Tuesday of this past week, April 22nd. We had a nice solid green candle that put us right above the 200, put us right above the 50 and the 100. Okay, and then we just kept on that bullish momentum, going a little bit sideways here on Bitcoin, and I'm expecting Bitcoin to trade sideways for a little bit because we made a pretty big impulse move up, and now we need to kind of like create like a bull flag here, goes sideways, show that, you know, that we can stay above these moving averages here before we get the next leg up. Okay, the moving average, this blue line right here, is probably going to provide some support if Bitcoin does go to lower prices. That moving average, the 100 moving average, is sitting at $93,000 on the daily time frame here. Okay, if for some reason if we lose that $93,000 level, then we could come down to the 50, which might act as temporary support. But we definitely want to stay above that 200-day, the red line here, which is sitting at $89,000 and climbing as the days and weeks go by here. Okay, so Bitcoin is slowly getting support off of this 200 moving average, and these moving averages are pushing the price up. I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand. It's like, which came first, the chicken or the egg here? You know, do the moving averages push the price up, or does the price push the moving averages up? They kind of do it in tandem here. But yeah, just going back to some analysis here on the Fibonacci. Okay, we'll look at the Fibonacci levels here real quick. And this is just measuring from when Bitcoin topped out at $109,000 and then came down to the $74,000 level here. Okay. And it spits out these Fibonacci numbers, which are kind of important because day traders, I'm sorry, not day traders, professional traders and investors around the world are looking at these numbers here when they make their decisions as to whether they're going to be buying or selling Bitcoin. And right now we're in the golden pocket level. We threatened to go up to this 0.618 level, this $96,000 level. This is a very important level, and you'll see why later when I pull up the VRVP, the visual range profile indicator. You'll see why that $96,000 is a very important number and could provide some resistance, could keep a lid on the bull rally that we're having here with Bitcoin. And I'm expecting us to go sideways as we try to contend against this $96,000 level. But if we do become bearish, right? If we do start going sideways and down here, we do have some fib level traders here that'll look at the 0.5 level. $92,000 should be another strong support area. If you're looking to buy back in at Bitcoin, you could get lucky enough to buy it at $92,000. Okay, but if Bitcoin is not able to sustain the momentum and it continues going bearish some more, then I'm expecting this 0.382 level to be pretty significant here, which is also kind of at the same level as this 200-day moving average. Okay, That gives me a little bit of confluence because you got the Fibonacci agreeing that Bitcoin can get some support at like, yeah, we'll call it $88,000, and the 200-day moving average saying that there should be support at $89,000. You might be lucky enough to buy Bitcoin again if you're short-term trading it at like $88,000, $89,000. But if you're long-term investors, you're just sticking with Bitcoin for now. If it does go to $89,000, you're probably just adding to your position and buying some relatively cheaper Bitcoin, if at all possible here. Okay, but yeah, let me let's go ahead and take a look at the VRVP here, because you're gonna see why this $96,000 level is very important. Just eyeballing the chart. All right, if I just get rid of the moving averages here and just clean it up a little bit, you notice that Bitcoin has been bought and sold at $96,000 all throughout like November, December, January. I mean, we did get as high as like $106,000, $109,000, but the majority of people that bought over the last few months were buying Bitcoin at $96,000 before it dropped like a rock in February, right? And then we saw like $80,000 and $70,000 Bitcoin. Okay, now if I turn on the VRVP here, the volume range visual profile, you're gonna see the point of control is gonna hit that $96,000 level. Very important level, guys. Very important level. If you do not have faith and conviction in Bitcoin and crypto right now, and you think, you know, we're gonna go down for some reason and this might be your last chance to get out at a good price, then yeah, $96,000, or even right now $93,000, you can sell your Bitcoin and no one's gonna, you know, fault you for it. Okay, because this is a pretty heavy resistance level. Anybody that bought at like $96,000 in the mid 90s here back in November and December of last year, if they're done with crypto and they want to get out, but they don't want to get out at a loss, they want to break even, they're gonna do it right now, like this week when Bitcoin hits $96,000. So there's gonna be some sellers showing up this week, and that's why I think Bitcoin's gonna trade sideways for the most part, trading at this blue line, this point of control here. But if we break past this blue line, this point of control, then, you know, looking at the VRVP here, right, you have, you know, the next high volume node here at like $102,000. $102,000, which just happens to be right where this Fibonacci level is at. This 0.786 level, okay, is also at $102,000. So, you know, my next price target after Bitcoin gets past $96,000, I'm looking for the $102,000 level. That should be another good level if you're still not convinced about Bitcoin and you want to sell. Okay, sell some crypto. You could probably sell at $102,000, and there will be other people trying to sell it at that level as well. Okay, but then going back to the VRVP here, you do have this white line is the value area high. It's saying that Bitcoin could. There's like 15% of the volume was bought at that $106,000, $107,000 level here. Okay, so that's probably going to be the next level of resistance, and you'll see that as well if you look at the, you know, the candlesticks here. You'll see that the $106,000, $107,000 level was a level where people were settling up here on crypto, where, you know, like a few days here in December, Bitcoin closed out at $106,000. Same thing here in like January, you know, Bitcoin closed out at $106,000. Okay, so $106,000 would be the next level after 102, and then finally the boss level, all-time high resistance level of $109,000 could be, I mean, we're talking about it now, right? Could possibly be coming into play here. $109,358 Bitcoin. We haven't seen that since Donald Trump got inaugurated on January 20th, and yeah, that could be where Bitcoin goes next. Now, just zooming out here and going back to the Fibonacci analysis, I have done a YouTube short and a TikTok video on this about Bitcoin for this weekend, for this weekend's update on Bitcoin. We do have the 1618 Fibonacci level showing that Bitcoin can get up to 131 grand, and that is my next all-time high target price for Bitcoin once it pushes past $109,000. This thing is saying that Bitcoin could go up to $131,000. Okay, and that might happen later on this summer or maybe later on this year in 2025. But I would be, you know, surprised if Bitcoin does not make it to $131,000 this year. Okay, you're just gonna have to wait. Could happen, you know, next week, next month, or later on this year. But I got Totos in the chat saying, "Is Bitcoin a good buy?" Okay, Totos, I could tell you my opinion on Bitcoin. I'm not gonna give you financial advice. I'm never gonna give you financial advice because I don't know your personal situation. You would need to talk to a financial advisor. But yeah, let's go ahead and answer that question with the market cipher B indicator here, which, you know, is this little cheat sheet right here. Tells you, you know, when's a good time to buy Bitcoin. You got these green dots, red dots. Let me go ahead and just show you this indicator by itself, so we'll make it really obvious and easy to look at. Okay, so this is the market cipher B. Okay, this is an indicator that you can get on TradingView. And it just gives you a little cheat sheet. You know, if you're saying, like, you know, if you're not sure if Bitcoin's a good buy, right? Because your question is BTC a good buy? Well, this thing can help you figure that out with these green dots here. So on you know, these green dots here tell you to buy. Red dot tells you to sell. Buy, sell, buy, sell. Okay. Usually you want to be buying when the green dot is low and it's also near these double green lines here. Okay. Meaning that it's quite oversold and it's good time to buy. Okay, so good. Last time that I said it was a good time to buy on the daily time frame here was April 10th. Okay, about a couple of weeks ago was a good time to buy. You could have bought Bitcoin at $78,000 or $82,000, and that was, according to this indicator, a good time to buy. Because now look at where we're at. We're at $93,000 Bitcoin, right? Okay. Let's look at the weekly time frame, because I also want to show you how this thing is pretty good at predicting when's a good week or a good time to buy in the longer time frames here. And you can see that. Let me just zoom in here a little bit here on Bitcoin. I think, man, I don't want to get rid of this indicator just yet, but let me just move this out of the way here so it's kind of like not in the way here. Okay, kind of distracting us, but yeah. So this green dot showed up on the weekly time frame here, okay, on market cipher B, saying that Bitcoin, a good time to buy, was last week, or this week that we just had. Okay, so you got the green dot showing up. Market cipher B says, you know, it's a good time to be buying Bitcoin right now, and you'll probably see that on the other charts for these other cryptocurrencies that are out there. Especially if you're on a weekly time frame, especially after having a good solid green candle like this, it's gonna say, yeah, you should be buying Bitcoin. All right, this thing is pretty good as a cheat sheet, because look right here on December, around Christmas time, it said, you know, that was a good time to sell, and you know, Bitcoin was trading at like $95,000. You could have avoided a lot of this pain over here just using market cipher B, and you got your little cheat sheet saying, yeah, now's a good time to sell. Okay. And then good time to buy was, you know, was this week that we just had. And then the last time it was a good time to buy, right, was September of 2024. This thing was saying, hey, you should be buying Bitcoin right now, because things are showing up in the charts here that you're gonna make some money if you buy Bitcoin here. And this was like back here on the last week of September, when Bitcoin was trading at like $62,000. Okay, this was right before we had this impulse candle here in November. Okay, these green candles here. So this thing is pretty good at a little cheat sheet. You might want to add that to your toolkit here. Market cipher B, the free version here on TradingView. So we got some other people here with some requests. I'll get into the requests here now. I appreciate you guys giving me these requests. And I appreciate you guys following me. If you guys are new to the channel and you're liking my analysis here, you want to learn more about Bitcoin and crypto, go ahead and hit that follow button for my TikTok guys. And if you're new on the YouTube here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, so that way you know when I go live here. I think I remember seeing someone say Tars AI. Let me just double check here. I got a bunch of messages that came in here, and I did a lot of talking. So let me just go over this here. Appreciate the requests. I'm just going over, seeing if I want to make sure I didn't miss any requests here. So many messages, so many people joining. I appreciate you guys joining the TikTok live stream here. So yeah, I do remember seeing Tars AI. I'm just seeing if there's anybody else that put in another request here. King Louis wants to look at the extended stochastics in the 90K. Okay. Support and resistance better than Fibonacci. You know, King Louis, there are people that trade using Fibonacci levels here. It's not good to just use one indicator or, you know, one level. You want to be able to look at the charts and see, you know, 2 or 3 things that are agreeing with each other to give you some confluence to let you know, like, hey, that's the level that you should be eyeballing. And right now on Bitcoin, I'm eyeballing the $96,000 level. Okay. I think $96,000 is going to give us some resistance, but once we push past it, then I think $102,000 is going to be in the next level for Bitcoin here. Okay. And that's just using these fib levels and also using the VRVP indicator as well. Let's get into it. We're gonna look at Tars AI now, and then I have CRV as another request here, so we'll look at that one as well. Appreciate that. And guys, if I miss your request, just you can put it in again. Sometimes I just get a lot of messages here on the TikTok stream, and it just ends up, sometimes it gets lost, and I have to go dig for it. But if you just, you know, if you feel like I missed your request, then just put it in again and I'll be able to look at it. Tars AI currently trading at about 12 cents right now, almost down 7% today. But it had a pretty good week here. Wow, up 205% this week. These AI cryptocurrencies have been having a very good, great week. Some of these cryptocurrencies have doubled in value, and this one, this particular cryptocurrency has like tripled in 1 week. So, wow. Okay, kudos to you, Tars AI. Whoever got into that one. Hopefully, I think Derek was the one that requested it. Yeah. Hopefully you got into it before it ripped up like it did. You can see that the selling pressure on the weekly candles here on the MACD is starting to die down, and you might get some buying pressure here. Tars AI has some low stochastics on the weekly stochastics weekly time frame here. So yeah, this thing after been beaten down, you know, could it go back up to where it was when it was flying high in December at like 49 cents? I don't know, but if it does, that's still like a 5x from where you are right now. A lot of these AI cryptocurrencies, I believe you could probably 5x your money, and I think Tars AI is one of them. Let's go into the daily time frame here, see if we can get some more data here. Okay, so this thing, obviously, I mean, bottom out for now, okay? And you're getting resistance right now on Tars AI. You bottom out, and you got resistance here at the 50-day movement average, which is at 12, almost 13 cents here. This green number right here, saying about 0.128 pennies. Okay, I'm expecting Tars AI along with Bitcoin and some other cryptos to just go sideways and just create a bull flag here. I see Jim's in the chat. Appreciate you coming in, Jim. And you want me to look at XCN and NKN. All right. Let me go ahead and write these down. XCN and NKN, and I believe we had CRV is going to be the next one after this, and then we'll look at those other ones for you. All right. Let's see. Trade tuition saying that volume is extremely too low, getting alerts and blowing out my ears. Recommend fixing in your settings. Okay. All right. Are you talking about like the volume for the music, or are you talking about volume for me in general? I think my YouTube stream is usually people say I probably have to get like a better microphone here so you guys can hear me better. But my TikTok guys, they never really complain about the volume here. But yeah, let's see. Finishing up my analysis here on TARS AI. You're probably gonna see a bull flag here. Let me just make sure I connect this, make it look a little bit more realistic. You'll probably see something like this, where you'll probably get a bull flag, and you just measure from the impulse move. I will call this the impulse move right here, and to the top of the move right here. You get the flagpole, that's your measure move. You put it to like where TARS AI could break out of this flag. And it's saying that the next move right now for TARS AI should be about that blue number right there, 20 cents. Which kind of makes sense because that's actually where the 100 moving average is sitting at right now, at 20 cents. So you might get some resistance in the short term here for TARS AI at the 100 moving average, and also the 200 moving average is sitting at 19 cents. So I'm expecting this thing probably go to 19, 20 cents, do another double from where it is right now. Once it decides to break out to the upside, once it gets past this resistance that it's fighting against the 50-day moving average, providing resistance right now. Okay, that is my my bull targets, my bullish targets for TARS AI. Let's look at CRV now. Thanks, Trade Tuition, for coming into the live stream here. And I'll be trying to see if I can look at your live stream later on today. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at CRV now. Currently trading at 64 cents, down 3.7% today. And I mean, this thing is looking fine as of now. Okay, you created some higher lows here, another higher low, and you're just creating another bull flag, as far as I see, on CRV here. Okay, you got, you know, like I said, higher low, higher low, higher low. And let me just get rid of the moving averages for now. We'll just look at this as a naked chart. And yeah, this thing is probably just flagging out right now. Yeah, I'll just connect it like that for now. And yeah, I mean, the way the chart pattern trend analysis goes here is that you got your bull flag here. You get the flagpole. You just take this pole, put it to like where you can break out of this bull flag here, and this thing is saying that you could see CRV come up to 80, almost 84 cents in the near future here. Okay. And that makes sense because 84 cents is where this thing was trading at back in December and January, about a few months ago. So there's some sideways trading action at that level. I'm expecting a curve probably to get some resistance for the people there that want to get out and break even. If I pull up the VRVP here real quick, it's probably going to say the same thing with the high volume nodes. Yeah, you got like right here, the high volume node here at like 83 cents, which is also this white line, this value area high is at 83 cents. So I'm expecting CRV to just chill out at like 83, 84 cents as a near-term bullish price target. And then once it gets past that level, I mean, there could be some more resistance at like 90 cents here. And then some more at like $1.03, just looking at some high volume nodes here. And that kind of is confluent with the tops that it made back in January here, when it got up to like $1, $1.10. Okay, yeah, $1.06. So those are your near-term bullish targets and medium-term bullish targets for CRV. All right, let's take a look at XCN, Onyx coin, and then we'll look at NKN from my buddy Jim over here. Appreciate you coming into the chat and giving me your requests here. Let's go ahead and take a look at those. Okay, so XCN USD. You see I've already done some previous chart work here on XCN. Currently trading at just under 2 pennies, about 0.018 pennies, down 5.3% today. Okay. And what do we got here for Onyx coin? So Onyx has already, where has it been? It's been in a downtrend ever since like the end of January. Okay. And look at this. I mean, people were able to catch that bottom here at like just under a penny, and this thing shot up. Look at the previous chart work. I mean, this thing shot up, created the bull flag, or you could still say we're kind of in the bull flag right now. Let me just get rid of this thing right here. It looks looking like probably. I mean, now it's kind of looking like this here. Could this be one giant extended bull flag that we got going on here? Because this thing, I have to redraw the lines here. But it looks like you might be in a descending triangle, which is it's usually bearish, okay, when you have a descending triangle, okay? But this is part of a bull flag, so might not be totally bearish for Onyx coin, okay? If I measure the flag here now, okay, take the flagpole, take it out to like where we could break out at like roughly 2 pennies here. The price target for XCN Onyx coin is saying about roughly below 4 cents. You got that blue number there. 0.038 pennies could be where this thing comes up to, which kind of isn't confluent with the Fibonacci, the 1618 extension levels, saying that this thing could get up to 0.039 pennies. Okay. So for some reason, I think this crypto wants to go to 4 cents as a long-term bullish target. Okay. But let's see, digging deeper into this, using just the fib levels here. Right now, you know, with the data that I got here, the fib level of like 0.5 could be the 0.5 Fibonacci level at 0.017 pennies could be where this crypto is probably going to drift down towards. It might get a little bit of support at the 0.32 retracement level at about a penny and a half. If it loses a penny and a half, it's probably going to drop down. All right. And the way, you know, like I said, this is still a descending triangle, so this thing could still, you know, create a bearish move on you. And if it does, then, you know, you got the probably the 1 penny level here, 0.236 retracement level. Could be another price target where you could scoop up some cheaper Onyx coin. But we'll see if this thing kind of respects the descending triangle that it's in and this possible bull flag. And yeah, I think, you know, once you get past 2 cents here and you can treat that as support, this thing's going to launch up and then it's going to probably double in price to that 4 penny level. Okay. This is just me doing quick analysis. I could dig deeper into this, but I don't want to do too much analysis because I got to move on to your next coin here. Let's go ahead and take a look at NKN. All right, Jim. So you're pretty good on the charts here. You're over here saying that you have a breakout target for XCN. Lines up with the golden cross on the weekly chart. Okay. I'll just take a look at the weekly real quick here. And let me go into I gotta put my moving averages back on again. I don't really see a golden cross on the weekly time frame. Maybe it might be on a different exchange here. Let's try BitGet. Yeah, I don't really see that that golden cross that you're talking about there. But yeah, let's go into NKN for now. All right, looking at NKN, currently trading at roughly below 4 pennies, down 3.7% today. And I am looking at the weekly time frame here. You can see that this thing still has some selling pressure on the MACD, but you're starting to get some light, like pink colored candles on the MACD, which means that the selling pressure is starting to die down. And then you're just looking to see if you get some green candles start to show up on the MACD here. That would just confirm that the buyers are stepping in to buy this cryptocurrency that you're currently interested in here. Let's see. Let's go into the daily time frame. See what's going on in the daily time frame here. Okay, so I have done previous chart work here on this crypto. You did have your falling wedge here. Falling wedges are usually bullish. They break out to the upside, and you got that breakout on NKN. So congratulations if you were able to spot that and take advantage of it. Let's see, NKN got some resistance. I would call that resistance on the 50-day moving average here. This green line here, at around like 5 cents. This thing peaked out at like 6 cents on last Sunday for Easter. And this 50-day is probably going to act as resistance going forward as this thing tries to climb up to higher prices here. You do have the 21 EMA that's starting to curve back up here now. This thing could provide some support. Right now it's sitting at about 2.5 pennies. You might be able to scoop up some cheaper NKN. All right, around like maybe like 3 cents, low 3 cents, or maybe 2.5 pennies here. We'll see. We'll see. I'm just getting familiar with here. I'm just looking at the RSIs here. Yeah, we kind of peaked out on Sunday, almost got overbought on Sunday, and now you're kind of chilling out at like in the 50s here on the RSI. So this thing probably has some more room to run if it wants to, because it's not currently overbought on the daily time frame here. So could this thing also be creating a bull flag here? Because if it is, right, you know, you got the measured move looking something like this. You just put this right, kind of like currently where we're at 3.5 pennies, or almost shy of 4 pennies. And the measured move is saying that this thing could be 8 cents, that blue number right there, which would put you above the moving averages, which is also kind of probably create some resistance at like 7 cents. You got the 200 moving average sitting at 7 cents. You got the 100 moving average sitting at like 0.068 pennies. So yeah, I think when this thing decides to do its next bull run here, it's probably gonna like chill out at like 7 or 8 pennies here, before it goes up to even higher prices after that. But yeah, that's my medium-term bullish target for NKN. This thing could possibly go up to 7 or 8 pennies, and then you basically doubled your money on this cryptocurrency. Totos is asking about what are the chances for a pullback on Bitcoin. There's always a chance that Bitcoin can pull back. The higher we go, the more likely that we will do a pullback. Okay, let's go back into Bitcoin since you mentioned it. Bitcoin currently trading at $94,100. And I mean, you asked me like what are the chances that it's gonna do a pullback. I think Bitcoin's probably gonna go sideways for now and create its own bull flag. Get a little bit of support off the blue line here. This blue line is the 100 50-day moving average at $93,000. So it might pull back to $93,000. But if it loses that, then it still has the null support level here at 50-day moving average at $90,000 Bitcoin, and then you also have like a red line here at $89,000 is the 200-day moving average support, and you could get some support at $89,000. I think the bulls are gonna defend $89,000 to $90,000 as much as they can. And I don't know if we'll ever see $70,000 Bitcoin ever again, or you know, it might, or in the short time frames here. If this is a lower high and we're not able to push past $96,000 and go up to like 100K and 106K, then yeah, there could be a you know, this could still be we could still be in a bearish downtrend for Bitcoin, and this just might be a lower high compared to the highs that we made here in January. And if that's the case, then yeah, this thing could come down to $70,000. But yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but it really does come down. It could go up or down. But because we have already gone up, there is a likelihood that we will go sideways, and there's probably another likelihood that we could go down, because are we getting close to being overbought on Bitcoin? We are, okay? We have an RSI level of about 67 on Bitcoin. When Bitcoin gets to 70, it's considered overbought. Okay, you can see back here in like November, Bitcoin was overbought at like 80 on the RSI, 81. And you know, 77 and 88, I'm sorry, 81 and 77. So yeah, when you see that on the RSI, that means you're in the danger zone and you're most likely going to be pulling back. But the thing is that you can stay overbought for a long time here. I mean, look, this was overbought. Bitcoin was overbought in November 11th of 2024, and it stayed overbought until November 24th for like 2 weeks. 2 weeks straight on the daily time frame here, Bitcoin was overbought and still going up. Okay, that's really good for those who are in the asset and trying to make money. Okay, but it's also a warning signal that yeah, this is when you see price going up like this and you see the RSI overbought and starting to create lower highs, that's actually bearish divergence. Okay, for those who know what bearish divergence, you're making higher highs on the price, but you're making lower highs on the RSI. That's bearish divergence. That's your warning signal that it's time to start selling Bitcoin. Okay. And then what happened? What did Bitcoin do after that? Bitcoin went sideways after it was overbought and creating bearish divergence. Okay. Then we had the double top here on Bitcoin. Okay, where Bitcoin got to like 108 grand and then 109 grand, and they consider that a double top, and that's also another warning signal that you're topping out on Bitcoin, and that's the reason why we went down and to the right and then down some more. Okay, so you know, as far as like signals now, okay, we'll see how Bitcoin does going sideways here and creating some support on the moving averages. Moving averages could be giving us some support. We didn't have that support for Bitcoin back in January because Bitcoin was already really far away from the moving averages, right? You had the 200-day sitting at 71,000, the 100 sitting at $73,000 when Bitcoin was trading at like $109,000. Okay, so you had less support for Bitcoin. Now you got the support is hanging out at $90,000. So the pullback might not be so drastic and violent for Bitcoin if it does decide to go down. I'm just giving you a long-winded answer here, but I want you guys to also try to understand and learn how these charts go and what might come next for Bitcoin. Let me see. Jim's got some comments here. All right. You got a pretty large bag of NKN at a 1.8 pennies. Hoping to scoop more. Okay. You think people expecting Bitcoin to perform like cycles past will continue to be surprised by its stock-like stability and structure? Yeah, I think you're right. Bitcoin is starting to become a little bit less volatile, but people still get scared. I mean, we had a 30%, 32% drop on Bitcoin, and people were losing their minds and giving up on crypto. When Bitcoin has had like 50% drops, okay? And I think the people that lost their minds in crypto is because they were in the altcoins, and the altcoins got hammered a lot harder than Bitcoin did. Most of them, the majority of them went down 50% or more. Some of them down like 90% or 80%. So I can understand why people, they lost their stomach and they couldn't handle it anymore for crypto. But I mean, that's what happens when you get into the altcoins. You can lose half your money, but you can also 10x your money at the same time if you wait long enough. All right, let me look at some of these comments here from my TikTok guys here. All right, so we already talked about the pullback. Once the RSI crosses, it's going to be golden. All right. You want me to look at the 3-month chart? The 3-month chart on Bitcoin? And then, yeah, talking about ETF flows after. Okay. Yeah, let's look at the 3-month chart since you mentioned it. This is now the 3-month or the quarterly chart for Bitcoin. And, yeah, you know, this is what the quarterly candles. Every candle here represents 3 months or a quarter for Bitcoin. And here's what it looks like. Okay. Obviously, the 21 EMA, the white line, provides support for Bitcoin. When Bitcoin gets too far away from the 21 EMA, it's usually it'll usually start to pull back, like you see here in 2021. You know, Bitcoin topped out at like $61,000. Okay, and then the next 3 months after that, beginning in April 2021, Bitcoin dropped down to $28,000. That was a 50% haircut. All right, look at that. In 3 months, actually it was like 40%. Bitcoin dropped down 40%. If you look at this number right here, okay, Bitcoin dropped 40% in 3 months back in 2021. That was pretty brutal for a lot of people there. Okay, and then Bitcoin had a recovery during the summer of 2021, and then Bitcoin had a new all-time high during the end of 2021. Okay, you get this green wick candle here, and then this is the brutal 2022 that we all know about, the bear market for Bitcoin, when Bitcoin dropped 56% in 3 months, around the second quarter of 2022. And then this was a good time to be buying Bitcoin when it was close to the 21 EMA, right? Getting some support here on the 3-month chart here, and then it's been up and to the right ever since then. But now we are starting to get a little bit high here from the 21 EMA. Okay, that should raise your alarm bells here. Okay, but doesn't mean that we can't still go up. All right, because we might be getting something like this here, where you know, in 2021, you know, Bitcoin topped out in the first part of the year. Then we had a bad summer, and then we topped out again and made new all-time highs in the third quarter. Actually, yeah, that's actually the fourth quarter of 2021. Okay, could that same thing happen to Bitcoin here, where you know Bitcoin had a nice fourth quarter for 2024, then we had a bad first quarter, and then could we get a good quarter or sideways quarter for the second quarter of 2025, and then could the third quarter be where we top off at on Bitcoin, right? And could we see that, you know, $130,000 Bitcoin later on this year? Possibly. Yeah, there are a lot of new people in cryptocurrency world, but they all have to learn. You know, they'll get the hang of it if they stick around long enough. You're right about that, Jim. All right. So Vabaris is saying ETF flows might help later on for Bitcoin. It's been about a year now for Bitcoin ETFs. I would expect that now they're gonna start after they see the performance of Bitcoin after 1 year in the ETF. I think they're going to now be convinced that they can start selling the idea of buying Bitcoin to their clients, and we should start getting some more money coming in from institutional investments and BlackRock and Fidelity and all that. They'll start pushing the idea of Bitcoin to their clients, and there should be more money coming into the space because of that. For sure. Oh man, messed up my camera there for a second. Sorry about that. Let's take a look at the liquidation heat map for Bitcoin. We'll see where the stop losses are hanging out at for a lot of these day traders here. You see that we have some selling pressure. This yellow area sitting at about $38 million of Bitcoin at 95,830 bucks is where the short sellers are putting their stop losses at, or that's where they're going to get liquidated if we keep going higher here. The buyers, right? The longs. There's some liquidity here at like 93,940 bucks. It's a little bit below where we're at right now. Let me just click refresh, make sure this data is still good here. Yeah, 93,900 is, we got like $33 million of liquidation. That's kind of close to where we're at right now. We're at $94,000 Bitcoin right now. That's a pretty tight stop loss, in my opinion. Those people might get stopped out, and then we get launched up to higher prices, and then we might see like $95,000 or $96,000 Bitcoin. Maybe later on this week, tomorrow or first half of this week, I'm expecting we might see $96,000 Bitcoin. And when we do go up to $96,000 Bitcoin, like I said, I think that's going to be a tough area to crack. I'm expecting Bitcoin to go sideways for this week here, near the mid 90s and $96,000 Bitcoin area. And that's going to be good for the altcoins, though, because I'll give the altcoins a chance to try to catch up to Bitcoin if they haven't already. I know crypto that did pretty well this week was Sui. We'll probably take a look at Sui after this. But I'm just looking at the 1 hour chart here for Bitcoin, trying to see if there's any cause for alarm or red flags here, or if we might be getting a. I did title the video to the YouTube video saying, you know, is Bitcoin going to go up or down from here? You know, and are we going to get resolution? And I think the resolution is going to come later on this week. But I do see Bitcoin is creating a flag here on the 1 hour time frame. And you got the moving averages just going up and to the right. I think the resolution might happen later on tonight, to be honest. We might see, like, after the futures markets open at like 6 p.m. Eastern time, I think some people are going to buy Bitcoin around that time. And we might see $95,000, $96,000 Bitcoin later on tonight. All right, Jim. Thanks for the TA on Onyx and NKN. You're welcome, my friend. Yeah. And then your last comment here. You're still curious to see what happens with Ethereum. You know, a lot of people want Solana to flip Ethereum and become the altcoin darling, but you wonder if that will incite chaos in the altcoin market. I mean, if Solana flips Ethereum, I actually have a lot of Solana myself, so I'd be a very happy camper if that's the case. If it does that, I think that would that be a 10x on Ethereum? Let's look at that real quick here before we talk about Sui. And we can even talk. Yeah, we can talk about the market caps here. So I'm on CoinMarketCap.com now. It's a good way to get some comparative analysis on your cryptos and do some research here. Let's see. Ethereum has a $217 billion market cap, and Solana has a $77 billion market cap. If Solana doubles in value from where it is right now, it's still not going to catch up to Ethereum. But it's going to get close though, because it'll have like a $150 billion market cap. And then all it needs is like another 70 billion after that. So actually Solana needs to do a 3x. If you see a $450 Solana and Ethereum doesn't do nothing but stay where it's at, then yeah, Ethereum will get flipped by Solana. I think XRP might actually flip Ethereum. Because if XRP doubles in price here, okay, Ripple, I mean, if XRP doubles, that's going to put it at $260 billion market cap, and that would be more than Ethereum, and XRP might flip Ethereum before Solana does. But yeah, Ethereum is not looking so hot this cycle, and it's starting to create some debate as to whether Ripple and Solana might take the number 2 spot on the cryptocurrency market cap world. Okay. Excuse me. But let's talk about another potential crypto darling. Sui did pretty well this past week. You can see in the last 7 days, Sui up 70%. God damn. That is awesome. Okay. Let's see who else did pretty well besides Sui. If I go see who did well in the last 7 days here, you can see that Pudgy Penguins up 117%, Brett up 93%. Okay, so these are the meme coins. Meme coins, they have the potential to do that. They can have a lot of upside when money starts pouring into them. But then you got Virtual's Protocol up 93% this past week. That's not a meme coin, although you probably could create some meme coins on that crypto. This has to do with AI, artificial intelligence agents. So the AI space in crypto is getting some love, and Virtual was one of the benefactors, up 93% this week. And then of course you got another meme coin here, Trump coin, up 82%. And then you finally get a layer 1. Sui did the best out of the layer 1s, up 70% this past week. And then of course you got another meme coin, Bonk, up 55%. But Sui, right? Layer 1 cryptocurrency, you can build off of it. It's got a use case. I believe one of the reasons why Sui did so well is because there's a rumor that Sui could be used for the next Pokemon video game. So that's going to create some more adoption for Sui. So yeah, you might want to look into that. There's a rumor going around that the next Pokemon game might have some Sui in it. Alright. But yeah, we'll take a look at Sui chart, and then let's see. I think I have some more requests here. Mandito wants me to look at AIOZ. Let me go ahead and write that down. AIOZ. Alright, we got you there. And then, who else? John is asking me, where do I see AI coins going? I see more money going into AI, to be honest with you. Especially if we start getting some trade deals here and some more optimism in the markets here. And if Nvidia does pretty well, then you'll see more money go into AI crypto. XRP will flip Ether, no way. XRP, yeah, XRP has a better chance to flip Ethereum if it does get flipped. And then Pinky over here is saying, do I care if you show your meme coin? Care if I show you my CTO? It's called Pinky. I mean, we'll take a look at Pinky real quick. We'll see if it actually shows up here on CoinMarketCap, but that's about as much as I'll do as far as shelling it. I'm not really a big fan of doing that. But let's see if a coin shows up here. So there's this B Pinky here, okay? That has a market cap of $8,000. It's not even being tracked right now. Then there's Pinky Doll, Pinky Soul. I don't know if those are the cryptocurrencies, if that's your meme coin. But yeah, you're gonna have to give me the ticker symbol. You're talking about the one that's at 21K. So you created this one right here. So somebody just showed up in my TikTok. His name is Pinky, and I guess Pinky created a cryptocurrency, a meme coin called Pinky. And it's currently trading at 0.000021 pennies. You guys can do some more research about it on CoinMarketCap. But yeah, there's really not much information. It's only $21,000 market cap. Yeah. All right, that's as much as I'm gonna do for you there, Pinky. Okay. Good luck with your meme coin there, and don't do anything crazy or evil like sell on all these people that are trying to get into meme coins. Give people a fair shot. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I'm gonna do there. All right. What do we say? AIOZ. Was AIOZ the only request that I got so far? Yeah, I think that was it. Oh wait, no, I said I was gonna do Sui too. All right, I'll look at the Sui, and then I'll look at the AIOZ there for you. Okay. Sui USD, because this one, I mean, I have to mention it because it had such a great week, right? Looking at the weekly time frame here. I mean, come on. Sui up 69% this week. Nice green candle here. MACD is showing less selling pressure. You'll probably start to see some green candles here. This thing could probably continue becoming bullish here. But looking at the Fibonacci levels here, you do have some resistance at $3.62 for Sui. And I believe that's where we came up to. We actually came up a little bit past that to like $3.81 earlier this week. But yeah, I think Sui is gonna get some. It's gonna probably flag out for a little bit here. Let's go into the daily time frame. I think Sui's gonna do something like this here. Just create a little bull flag, right? It obviously got above all the moving averages here. And these moving averages can now act as support. You got the 200-day moving average sitting at $3.20. That might be an area where you can try to scoop up some cheap Sui if you don't feel like you have enough of it. Okay. Anything like in the low $3 range is probably a good price to be buying Sui right now. And then you probably just put a stop loss at like $2.90, just in case you know, this is a false move here, and if it does go down for whatever reason, right? I don't think it would be, you know, I mean, there could be multiple reasons why it would go down, so just keep that in mind. Okay, but anyways, with Sui, right, you just do that measured move here. Okay, create that flagpole with the bull flag. You put that flagpole right here, where Sui could break out at like $3.60. And the flagpole is saying that Sui could be a $5.36 crypto. One more time, because I believe that's where Sui topped out at in January. Yeah, you got Sui at $5.36 here. $5.37 on Monday, January 6th. So that makes sense, right? We could see Sui go back to all-time highs if this bull flag plays out. But you are currently overbought on Sui, okay? You got an RSI of like 77 now. It could stay overbought though. But because it's in overbought territory right now, I think that's the reason why Sui is going to go sideways first. kind of cool down on the RSI a little bit, cool down the stochastic, and then use the 200-day moving average at $3.20 as a support level, and then launch up into the $5 area. Maybe later on this summer, maybe before the summer. Yeah. All right, that's my analysis there on Sui. Wow, you know, the only bearish downside I could see is that, you know, you lose the 200-day moving average at $3.16 and you come down to maybe the 50 at $2.90. I said put a stop loss over there because if you lose $2.90, then you might come down to $2.46 on Sui. But yeah, this thing is very bullish. It's got a lot going for it. I heard it's faster than Solana, cheaper to use than Solana, can do almost all the things in Solana, and it's gonna probably be used on the new Pokemon game for some more adoption. So yeah, Sui might be one to add to your bags here. Let's look at AIOZ now. AIOZ USD. So I believe this is an AI cryptocurrency. And yeah, AIOZ being an AI cryptocurrency, AI cryptos had a pretty good weeks right now. People want to put their money into AI and crypto, so I'm expecting this one to continue seeing more money pour into it. AIOZ currently trading at 39 cents right now. You do have the 50-day acting as resistance right now. This green line at 42 cents is where the resistance is coming in for this crypto. You did see that this thing topped out yesterday at 45, almost 46 cents. So it got a little bit past the 50-day moving average, but yeah, the 50-day is now saying, respect my authority. And yeah, I see this thing probably going sideways as well and creating a bull flag. We'll see how things play out here. I'll just draw out these trend lines for now. But yeah, you got yourself a potential bull flag here. Just drawing the flagpole now, and you just take that flagpole that is your measure move, and take it to like where you can break out here at like 40 cents on AIOZ. And the bull flag is saying that you should get up to like 60 cents or 59 cents, that blue number right there. And that makes sense because now, you know, if AIOZ continues going up to higher prices, you got the 200-day moving average sitting at 59 cents. That's going to be your next resistance level. So the bull flag says 59 cents and the 200-day moving average says 59 cents. I think 59 cents is going to be your take profit target for AIOZ. Okay? Unless you want to hang around a little bit longer and see if it goes to higher prices from there. But if it does go to higher prices from there, I see some sideways trading action here back in like November, where this thing was at 80 cents. So that possibly could be another long-term price target for AIOZ. So yeah, this thing could possibly double if you're going to wait long enough for it to do it. And I believe that is probably where the VRVP high volume node is probably sitting at too. Yeah, you got the value area high, the white line at like 78 cents. So that should be your long-term price target on AIOZ. You might see that later on this year. This thing get back up to 80 cents. And then anything after that is just gravy and you should be selling, okay? Because you don't want to be too greedy. You want to make money. You don't want to do a round trip, right? You don't want to see this thing go to 80 cents and then even $1.20 only for it to go back to where you bought it at, right? Because that's not how you make money. That's how you pass your time and not make money. So yeah, I mean these were good areas to be buying. This point of control, the blue line at like 27 cents. But we already went past that. If you come back down to that, I would say that's a good area to be buying. if you get this thing at like 30 cents or a little bit below 30 cents, that's a good spot to be buying AIOZ. All right, I got Ross in the chat saying Jasmine. I think Jasmine might be my last request here. I've been going live for a while here. Yeah. Yeah, let's take a look at Jasmine for you, and then I think that's gonna be it for now. And you'll just have to catch me on the next live stream if you have more requests here, guys. All right, Jasmine coin. Jasmine currently trading at about 0.017 pennies here. I got the VRVP already up on the chart, so we can use that before we start looking at the moving averages here. And we got the point of control currently sitting at 2 cents. That's gonna be your first take profit area without me looking at the moving averages here. The VRVP says you got a lot of volume at 2 cents. Okay, a lot of people bought Jasmine at 2 cents. So if they don't want to be in Jasmine anymore and they want to break even and not said that they actually lost money, then they can actually break even at 2 cents here. And there's gonna be a lot of selling pressure at 2 cents for Jasmine. So that might be where we trade sideways here. I'm expecting like this week, guys, to be just sideways trading action in Bitcoin and crypto, and I can see that in the charts as of now. And then maybe we might get some good news from like the Federal Reserve on interest rates, and then we might get some good news from the Trump administration doing trade deals with other countries, and that might cause these cryptos to go up to even higher prices here. But I'm expecting sideways trading action, which should give people a chance to like figure out which crypto they want to get into to try to make some money here. I feel like a lot of people got caught off guard the last week here. A lot of people thought crypto was going to go down. Some people were hoping that it would go down so they can buy some more at cheaper prices, and then it just went up instead. So by going sideways, people can figure out, you know, which ones are the good cryptos to get into, and they can just pick the winners. Okay. But yeah, Jasmine coin, if it does come down, it might get some support at like a penny here, which is where the value area low is sitting at. Got a lot of high volume, got a high volume node here, like a penny and a half. And about like 0.012 pennies here. Let's go into the moving averages here. See what is going on with Jasmine. Okay. All right. So moving averages, looks like the 21 EMA is starting to curve up. That's good to see. That indicates that you got your bull run is starting here on Jasmine coin. You are getting a little bit of resistance from the 50-day moving average. I think we've seen that with the other cryptocurrency, AIOZ, that had the same looking chart here, where the 50-day is creating some resistance right now on this coin at 0.018 pennies. Okay. You're probably going to get bounced in between the green line and the white line. The white line's going to act as support. The green line's going to act as resistance. Probably going into the rest of this week here until we actually break out and get past this this 50-day moving average. Once we get past like 2 cents, I think that will launch us probably to the red line here at 200-day moving average at like a little bit over 2 cents, about 0.023 pennies. Maybe take us up to this 100-day moving average sitting at 0.024 pennies. But RSI is saying that this thing is still not overbought, so you could start creeping up higher here on this crypto. Okay, 67, and then yeah, 60 on the RSI right now. Yeah, this thing could probably, this thing is almost creating a bull flag on the on the RSI, right? Okay. You know, you're just creating kind of like a bull flag right now. Higher lows here on the RSI. Looking something like this. Okay. Could it do something like that? Nah, probably not. But yeah, just funny things I noticed here on the chart, RSI here. Could this also be considered a double top? And could this thing come back down to an RSI of like 30 or 40? If it does, that's going to cause the price to go down. You might be able to scoop up some cheaper Jasmine, but I think Jasmine is going to get support. It should get support off the white line here, the 21 EMA, sitting at about $0.015. Yeah. Stochastic RSI is kind of topping out right now. So I think this thing is going to trade sideways for a little bit here. As things cool down on the RSI and the stochastic RSI. And let me just see what the MACD is looking here real quick. And then I think that'll be it for today. Hey. What the? Yeah, this thing is... Alright. This is what I have to do. I'm sorry. Take some time here. And yeah, you get some green candles. So yeah, the buyers are showing up here on the MACD. But you might start getting some light green here. I see the light green on the MACD here. And if you start getting some red, then that's probably indicating that you're going sideways and possibly going down. Just a little bit. I don't think you're going to see that too much of a downtrend here if it does go down. Like I said, that 21 EMA should provide support. Should provide support. Never a guarantee, but it most likely going to get support on the 21 EMA. Alright, let's see, Jim got a couple more comments here. Binance staying in the top 10 is so funny to you. CZ manipulating his coin to the max. Yeah, I feel like that might be the case too. And it looks like my TikTok stream went down for some reason here. And then Jim, you're saying you have to wonder how much he holds his corporate wallet for the price to be that stable? Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why that's the case. All right. That's going to be it for this live stream here, guys. If you're new to this channel, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Meet Damien here, okay? Trying to build up that community. And if you want to check me out on TikTok, you can find me on TikTok, right? I got a pretty good amount of following there. And you can see some of my short form content on my TikTok here. But yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. Appreciate you coming on to the live stream. Be on the lookout for my next live stream. We'll probably go live either around like 2. I go live in the afternoons for the most part on the East Coast time here. So just be on the lookout for that. All right. Take care, guys. I'll see you on the next live stream. Take care.
Tell me true. Next to you, next to you. on the top.